I'm not going to go in and comment on every sentence in that text message. He's very concerned about the Nobel Prize, and I've explained to him for a long time that it's a prize awarded by a Norwegian committee, not the Norwegian government, and I'm happy to repeat that. But that I believe everyone. I've always been of the opinion that if leaders are very concerned with the Peace Prize, that's not a bad thing, because it means they're keen to do something that qualifies them for that prize, which is about peace. But that's something I don't make decisions about, and it's necessary to emphasize.
You've said he knows it, but he gives the impression that he doesn't. Why do you still believe he uses the Nobel Peace Prize in this manner?
So you have to go over and ask him? I can't answer that.
Replied to it?
Well, no, I don't really have an answer to the message. I had hoped to arrange a phone conversation with him yesterday regarding these questions, together with the Finnish president with whom I work closely, but that wasn't possible. And I suppose I sent a signal that we still think it would be wise to have such a conversation.
How will you respond to this?
No, I have answered that. I think people would be wise to talk to each other. Now, I'm probably traveling to this meeting in Davos with economic leaders. Trump will be there. And if I get the opportunity, we'll have a chat.
There's been a lot of talk about Greenland. You received this text message, I imagine, on your phone. What was your initial reaction to that?
It's my job to keep an eye on this. I've spent the whole weekend working with European colleagues how we should respond to this quite specific and I believe unacceptable threat of tariffs against allies for upholding fundamental principles. This isn't a simple question. So we must work together with our closest partners, the UK and the countries in the EU.
Do you think Trump is serious about what he's writing now?
We have to assume leaders are serious and they have different ways of expressing themselves. So, Trump has his special style, and I believe there's great variation in how leaders use social media. And as I say, Trump often tweets what he thinks, and it's our job to follow up if it concerns us.
It began as a call for calm. Norway's prime minister, writing on behalf of Nordic leaders, reached out to Donald Trump urging de-escalation on Greenland, on tariffs, on global flashpoints. A phone call was proposed. What came back was something very different. In a blunt text, Trump tied peace directly to power. He said he no longer felt an obligation to think purely of peace, citing the Nobel Peace Prize he believes he deserved. Then came the line that stunned European capitals. The world, Trump wrote, is not secure unless the United States has complete and total control of Greenland. Trump questioned Denmark's right to Greenland, dismissed historical claims, and argued NATO owed the United States more. The message reframed Greenland not as territory, but as leverage, linking security, alliance loyalty, and American dominance. Norway's prime minister described the message as unusual and unacceptable. He stressed that the Nobel Prize is awarded by an independent committee, not the Norwegian government. He warned against threatening allies with tariffs for defending core principles. The text was quietly forwarded to multiple European ambassadors in Washington. Soon after, Trump announced new import taxes on several allied nations, including Norway. Diplomacy had given way to pressure, fast.
A stunning message from the White House, and a remark now echoing across Europe. U.S. President Donald Trump has told Norway's Prime Minister that he no longer feels obligated to think purely of peace. The comment came after Trump failed to win the Nobel Peace Prize, an award he had openly campaigned for. In a message published and later confirmed by Norway's government, Trump said that after being passed over for the prize, despite what he claims were efforts to stop 8 wars, his approach could now change. Peace, Trump wrote, would remain predominant, but from now on, he would also think about what he described as what is good and proper for the United States of America. The message went further. Trump once again raised his long-standing demand for U.S. control over Greenland, an autonomous territory belonging to Denmark. He argued that Denmark cannot protect Greenland from threats posed by Russia or China. And he questioned Denmark's right to ownership altogether, claiming there were no written documents, only historical landings by ships centuries ago. Trump added that the world, in his view, is not secure unless the United States has complete and total control of Greenland. Norway's Prime Minister, Jonas Gahr Store, responded carefully. He stressed that the Nobel Peace Prize is not awarded by the Norwegian government, but by an independent Nobel committee, a distinction he said he had clearly explained to President Trump. The remarks have reignited global concern, especially as tensions over Arctic security continue to grow. Trump had pushed hard for last year's Nobel Peace Prize. Instead, the award went to Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado. She accepted the prize in Oslo last month after a dramatic escape from Venezuela by boat.
I presented the President of the United States the medal of the Nobel Peace Prize, and I told him this, listen to this. 200 years ago, General Lafayette gave Simon Bolivar a medal with George Washington's face on it. Bolivar since then kept that medal for the rest of his life. Actually, when you see his portraits, you can see the medal there. And it was given by General Lafayette as a sign of the brotherhood between the United States, people of the United States and the people of Venezuela in their fight for freedom against tyranny. And 200 years in history, the people of Bolivar are giving back to the heir of Washington a medal, in this case a medal of the Nobel Peace Prize, as a recognition for his unique commitment with our freedom.
It has been an excellent meeting. I think we had a longer day than I had been informed of, and we were able to talk calmly about the expectations and dreams of Venezuelans, the very difficult time we're living through, but at the same time full of hope for the changes that are coming. And I conveyed to him with utmost precision the profound commitment that exists within Venezuelan society to fight for a transition that will allow us not only to build solid, stable, democratic institutions, but also to address the most crucial aspect, which is the well-being of our people.
Well, first of all, I was very much impressed by the clarity of your understanding and how well you know the situation in Venezuela and how much you care about what the people of Venezuela are suffering. And I assured him that Venezuelan society is united, that today more than 90% of Venezuelans want the same thing. We want to live with liberty, with dignity, and with justice. We want our children back home, back with us. And for that to happen, there must be democracy and freedom.
Machado later dedicated the award to Trump and, last week, handed over her Nobel medal to him.
Yesterday you accepted Maria Machado's Nobel Prize medal. What do you intend to do with it, and why would you want someone else's Nobel Prize?
Well, she offered it to me. I thought it was very nice. She said, you know, you've ended 8 wars, and nobody deserves this prize more than in history than you do. And I thought it was a very nice gesture. And by the way, I think she's a very fine woman, and we'll be talking again.
Very nice person. Said the meeting went well. Why align with Delcy Rodriguez and the remnants of the Maduro regime and not with Machado, who has the support of the Venezuelan people?
Well, if you ever remember a place called Iraq where everybody was fired, every single person, the police, the generals, everybody was fired, and they ended up being ISIS. Instead of just getting down to business, they ended up being ISIS. So I remember that. But I'll tell you, I had a great meeting yesterday by a person who I have a lot of respect for, and she has respect, obviously, for me and our country. And she gave me her Nobel Prize. But I'll tell you what, I got to know her. I never met her before, and I was very, very impressed. She's this is a fine woman.
a symbolic gesture now overshadowed by words that are raising fresh questions about peace, power, and global stability.